Okay, hey guys. So I just wanted to kind of sit down and talk about something. Again, I haven't really collected my thoughts about this completely. I'm kind of just throwing some ideas out there that I've been thinking about. So I just kind of want to talk about what to do when you feel like everyone else around you, everyone else your age, is getting their life on track and following down the path that is society would deem as like being successful. So, for example, I'm 21, and people my age who I would see as being, what society would deem successful would be like having a boyfriend, being in their final years of university, their undergrad anyway, and yeah, obviously having decided exactly what they want to do at uni and following through with it and doing well with their studies, perhaps also moving out of the family home. Um, I can't really think of anything else at the moment, but those things kind of ring to mind a lot. Those are the things that people, relatives you don't really see very often, are going to be asking you about when they see you. Just like, so do you have a boyfriend? So are you moving out soon? So what's your degree? Blah, 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 blah. And are you almost finished with it? So it's like everyone wants you to be getting a career and, getting settled down with somebody. Yeah, so, and that can be kind of frustrating when you're single, living at home, and maybe starting a new degree for the third time, potentially. Not that that's me or anything. Um, yeah, and just, I don't know, but the thing is, like, I'm saying this more to myself than anyone else, but I guess it just really doesn't matter um, if other people think that you're taking your time, taking too much time to go through these like normal um, early 20s type stages. Like, if you don't get there till you're like 30, who really cares? Like, honestly, like, okay, like, I understand, like, if your parents don't want to provide for you anymore because you're, like, almost 30, but, I think the world is changing, and, people are staying at home longer because maybe they're studying for longer times, and it's really hard to buy houses. At least I know it definitely is in Australia, and I think it's the same for England and the UK as well. Like, how housing prices are going up a lot, and wages aren't really matching that trend in the same way. So it is a lot harder for younger people to be buying homes. So, you know, I mean, I'm only 21. I don't think anyone really expects me to have bought a house yet, but that is something that is probably going to come up in the next few years, because I know that my parents bought their first house when they were 25, and it's like, God, that is not that far away for me if I really think about it. And it's like, realistically, I'll probably be still in uni or just out of uni. Yeah, just out of uni in that time. If I stick with my degree, which is a whole nother um, story, really. Um, yeah, and I guess for me, when I finished high school, this was almost 3 years ago now, I definitely felt a lot of pressure to go to university from my parents. And I mean, my high school that I went to was very academic, I guess, and most people, I think 95% of people from my high school who finished year 12 went to university. And so, yeah, there was definitely a lot of pressure to do that, even though I wasn't, I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I wasn't even really that keen on the idea of going. Like, I mean, eventually I wanted to go, but straight out of high school, I had no idea I didn't really have any desire to start a degree in something that I wasn't sure about, but I definitely felt there was a lot of pressure on me to make that decision. So I did end up going to university straight out of high school, just for about maybe 6 weeks in, I just had a bit of a breakdown, and I was like, why am I wasting my time and my money? All I wanted to do ever since I was like 15 was travel. And, because I was so young, I felt like I had to do what my parents wanted. But the bottom line was I was an adult, I was out of school. And so if I wanted to go traveling, that was my decision. So I dropped out of university, I told my parents. They weren't as angry as I thought they'd be, which was good. Soon after, I got myself a job, and I worked for 11 months. And then I booked a one-way ticket to London as a 19-year-old and went traveling around Europe. And it was crazy, like I know quite a lot of people go on gap years, but I was going alone as a woman on a one-way ticket. And I mean, a lot of people I met thought that was absolutely crazy, but you know what, like that was the best thing I ever did for myself, because I really wanted to do it and I didn't let anyone else stop me eventually. So yeah, I mean, I guess there's always time to go back to uni, and I just think it's really not good of people to pressure you into going when you're not sure. And I know people who are like, go traveling, take a gap year, are like kind of annoying. But I do think that a lot of people would get a lot out of taking a gap year, going traveling and taking that extra time to really figure out what they want to do. Because for me, I needed to take those 2 years off to really clear my head and think about what I could see myself doing later on in life. And that is definitely not to say that I'm at a place where I'm doing my degree and I'm like, this is exactly what I can see myself doing forever and I'm so happy here. Like, I like it, but I'm never gonna, I just don't think that I could ever say I'm 100% sure about anything in a way. Because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, I know that sounds weird, but you never know what's going to happen. And you never know what's going to inspire you or change your mind. So that was last year that I went away. So I was away for half a year. I ended up traveling in Asia as well for quite a while. And then I came back, and I didn't have an intention to go to university anytime soon after that, but somehow ended up coming to university this year, and I've nearly finished my first year. And you know what? It's been going pretty well. Like, and I don't regret starting university. I'm still not sure about it, about my degree, but I don't regret giving it a go, because if you keep waiting and waiting until you find something you want to do, maybe you'll never decide, and maybe it is worth just trying something. That said, I don't think that's the case for everybody, but it definitely was a good idea for me, because if I just sat around waiting until I was 100% sure, that might have never happened, and you don't really know what you're getting into before you start doing the course. So I don't regret it. I don't regret taking a gap year. I don't regret starting university. I think you've just got to try things, and there's no shame in taking your time. And now that it's my holidays, I decided to once again book a one-way ticket to Europe. So who knows? I might come back, I might not. My plan is to come back at this point, because I'd really like to get an undergrad degree before I'm 23. 24? 24. But you never know. You never know. And I think that that's just a cool thing to just go through life and never saying, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. Just do whatever and see what happens. You don't have to be completely set in stone in your plans. So that's basically what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I hope someone got something out of this. But yeah, go do things and don't worry about not being as successful as other people your age, because that doesn't really have any meaning anyway. So have a good day, guys.